Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Radja in the 3-minute pool on ICC. Let's play a Sicilian. We'll see what Radja has in store for us. We'll go d6, and maybe I'll play a Najdorf today. Venturing into some sharp territory, let's go e5 against the f4 variation. Way back in the day when I played the Najdorf, this is the line that I tended to play. Okay, let's just castle. Maybe queen c7. Or b6. Let's go b6 and try to fianchetto the bishop, put it on b7. I mean, usually you like to put the pawn on b5, but since they played a4, that's obviously impossible. And now, what to do? Rook e8? Let's go rook e8. Seems useful. There's tension in the center that I think we'd like to relieve if possible. I think I'll play bishop f8 now. So my bishop is only blocking my rook, which in turn is helping to defend e5. So go here. I think I'm pretty solid at the moment, but I have to beware of his minor pieces giving me problems, like the knight coming into f5. Also, I think this bishop could come to c4 and x-ray the pawn on f7, attack the pawn on f7, which x-raying my king. Probably should take this opportunity to go queen c7. Oh, no, that would drop a piece. Let's go bishop g7 first. Not queen c7 yet. Aha, as predicted. Okay. Maybe now queen c7. He can drop the bishop back. I have a little bit of a difficult time moving. Queen c6. He might go knight d5 soon. I'd love to play knight c5, but that hangs this. So how about rook f8? The idea of bringing the other rook over so I can better defend the f7 pawn. And maybe I can free up this guy, would be the goal. Yeah, like now this knight is capable of moving. It seems weird to reposition my rooks like that, but it didn't seem like he had any way to immediately take advantage. So I might be forgiven this loss of tempo. Okay, that's probably a good move. I'm thinking I might want to play bishop c6 now. But he's coming into d6. It's a problem. How to break out of this bind. What if I play bishop takes e4? He takes. Might be. Well, no, that's dangerous. I don't know. It's almost crazy enough it might work. I see an interesting line. Now let's try it. I don't see an immediate refutation of this. So my point is after knight takes e4, knight takes e4, queen takes d7, queen takes d7, he could take, but his bishop would be hanging at the end, is the thing. Here he can take on f6, but after bishop takes, knight takes, I can take on h4. I might survive. He still has queen d6, though. It offers a trade, but it comes in, and if I trade on d6, f6 will be attacked, and I can't move my knight because it's needed to defend e4. Wow, he's going to do this, huh? But his knight is loose. What are you going to do about your knight? Is he going to bring his queen into h6? Getting the impression that's what he's going to do. Yep. Okay, now I can see why he might have compensation because he's attacking my bishop. There's always the possibility of knight g5. So queen e7 or what? Queen e7, rook f1, I think. Queen e7, rook f1, king h8. Let's do that. Oh, he could just play g3 directly. Duh. Yeah, I didn't see that. Okay, let's just take now. Now I'll have to play king h8. Oh no, but he can go just knight g5 in this position. But I have queen b7, king here, check. His king's going to escape. Yeah, knight g5 and I can't move my f-pawn. It's unfortunate. He didn't see it. At least now I can push the f-pawn. I might not be losing instantly. Okay, queen e7 was a bad move. Now we're low on time. Rook d7. I thought he might try that. It's kind of an unbelievable move. Sort of have to take it, don't I? And hope that queen d1
check
gives us enough. I think this should be a draw.
Check.
He can't go to h3 because I go queen f1 check and pick up his knight. I can't defend h7 otherwise. Yeah, I think this
check.
is a draw.
Check. Check.
I can't go to d2.
Check. Check.
Yeah, draw is fair.
Check.
Okay. Just trying to absorb that game. There's a lot happening there. Okay, let's go back and take a look. So, Najdorf Sicilian and f4. Not that popular of a line. Probably, I don't know, maybe fourth in popularity behind bishop g5, bishop e3, bishop c4, bishop e2, maybe fourth or fifth. So I played e5 in reply. Knight bd7. Black can, of course, also opt for setups with e6, but I think e5 is okay. And he played a4, which does make it difficult for me to expand on the queen side, so no b5. So I settled for b6. I suspect there's a way I can improve right around here, however. We'll just flick the engine on. Knight c5, okay. Yeah, knight c5. There is this trick that knight c5 does not lose a pawn, because if he plays the capture and then knight takes e5, check. I have queen d4 picking up the knight after he responds to the check. So there is that aspect. That's a good argument for playing knight c5. I could also start with queen c7 if I wanted to, but I didn't want to give him the option of going a5 and try to nail my pawn to b7, so that's why I played b6 straight away. It's probably acceptable. Bishop b7, queen e1, yeah, rook e8. This move is played a lot in Sicilian positions in general, and also in the Najdorf, because it prepares bishop f8, and the rook can help guard the pawn on e5. Yeah, it's possible I should have inserted the capture maybe before playing bishop f8. Let's say I do that. Take, and now here. Queen g3, I can play knight h5, which is nice. See, the engine also likes knight c5 right away, pressurizing e4 and the bishop. And it fits in well with the rook e8 move, because after I put the bishop back on f8, e4 will be attacked multiple times. So bishop d2, bishop f8, take, d takes, knight h4. Yeah, I thought he would play potentially bishop c4 right away, but knight h4 also looks good. This led to difficulties for me. g6. I was trying to guard f5, so I wasn't interested in allowing his knight to come in, but maybe I do have to play knight c5, attacking d3. What happens if he goes here now? Queen d4, still attacking it. Maybe knight e6 also to block up the diagonal leading towards my king. And if knight here, just rook c8, kind of keep everything guarded. Don't get too crazy in pushing pawns. Because g6 is a nice move to keep the knight out of f5, but it undoubtedly weakens f6 when I play that move. And he jumped on that with bishop g5. And I have a lot of difficulties. If I could safely play rook e6, like let's say this rook was already on c8, if I could safely play rook e6, this would probably be okay. I remember an Ulf Andersson game where he did that. He played a rook up to e6, and his opponent had a heck of a time starting an attack with the same pawn formation. White having the isolated e-pawn, but the open f-file. So bishop g7, bishop c4, queen c7. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I was going to get out of this mess, because I can't move this knight due to bishop takes f7 check. So I was like, ugh, if I can't move that knight, that means I can't move the bishop, and I also can't move this knight. How am I ever going to break the pin on the f knight? So that's why I played rook f8. Honestly, I just wanted another defender of f7. It does seem to be the best try, at least. Yeah, the computer's not giving much in the way of improvements right now for black. Queen d2 was strong. He saw what I was up to. He knew that I wanted to move this knight, and then maybe move this knight too after that. So like, if I get a chance, let's just say he plays something random. h3, I can go knight h5. And this knight might come to f4. We have f7 guarded thanks to that rook f8 move. And maybe I can play knight to c5 on the next move. So queen d2 was a strong move. Good prophylactic move, stopping my idea of knight h5. And by the way, I could not play knight h5 on the previous move because of bishop e7. And if I move my rook, f7 falls again. So I need that e7 square guarded. So rook a e8, queen d2, bishop takes e4, takes. So what did he miss here? I was worried about queen d6, I think was the main move I was concerned about. Because I'm under so much pressure, he just needs to lean a little more on one of my weak points, and my whole position is liable to collapse. But maybe even that's not the best move. Queen d6, I have rook c8 to keep everything together. It's interesting. And then if he takes here, I take on d6. He takes with the rook. I take. And he wins 2 minor pieces, but I have some pawns, and the position is not altogether clear. I guess I only have 1 pawn, but a nice 4-2 majority in the center. And his majority on the queen side is not making itself felt yet. Yeah, I'd be fine with this position. I could play it. When you're that tied down for a series of moves, you'll take any opportunity to simplify. So, well, bishop takes e4 might be a good try. I didn't see an immediate refutation, and I spent quite a while on that move, so I just have to go with it eventually. Now, he did this. Yeah, the computer hates this idea. And I didn't think it worked at all, but it was hard to handle with a minute on a clock. Queen h6. And queen e7, I don't know why I blanked on g3. For some reason, I thought he had to try rook f1 first, and then I was going to go king h8, and now with g3, I have f5. This is my plan. But, of course, he can just play g3 right away. He doesn't need to preface it. And I think... Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can't play this. I don't know if I mentioned this in the game, but this is the line I had thought about. Bishop f6 runs into rook d7. It's a nice move. Deflecting the queen, and then it's like the game, except stronger. I take, and he just immediately does this with check. Yeah, in the game, my king was on h8, so it wasn't check, so I could come in with my queen. So that would have been a nice finale, but yeah, instinctively, I didn't want to put the bishop on f6 due to that move. Yeah, and here he missed knight g5. I totally thought he was going to see it, because he paused for like 20 seconds. And right after I had played this, I thought, oh, actually he doesn't have to take the bishop. Knight g5 just wins. Because notice I cannot move my f-pawn. It's pinned by his bishop, so I don't have f6 or f5 to allow my queen to defend. And he's just threatening mate on h7. And I only have 2 options. I can give up my queen, which will lose, or I can play queen b7 check. But, yeah, bishop d5 is possible. I think I was looking at king g1 and trying to do something like this, but yeah, I mean, he could even go like here. Oh, no, he couldn't do that because of queen h1, but just take the bishop or something, and yeah, I can resign. So I thought I was dead meat, because when they don't immediately recapture that piece, you're like, oh no, why are they starting to think? But he gave me a second lease on life with this. Now I have to play king h8. And the difference is here, if knight g5, I am free to move this pawn. So f6, and suddenly my queen is coordinating with the pawn on h7 in defense. He played a nifty move right here, rook d7. Uh-oh, computer thinks I'm winning. What did I miss? Here, here. Oh, queen c6 check. Oh, just forking the king and also the knight. Ouch.
Check.
Minus 10. Yeah, I just completely missed that move. I was only focused on queen d1. Yeah, that's over. He'd have to play knight d5 to keep the game going, which is totally losing. Otherwise, if he moves the king, I just take, and also losing. After queen d1, it should be a draw, shouldn't it? Here, check. Yep.
Check.
This is just a draw.
Check.
I don't have any grounds to play for a win when he's threatening mate in 1, and I can't get at his knight, nor his queen, nor can I defend h7. The only way I could win this game is if he goes wrong and plays king h3, allowing queen f1, followed by taking the knight. But yeah, I could have saved myself some work and played queen c6, but I didn't see it. I think given the blunders that we made, with him having a better position all around for much of this, and also missing the knight to g5 move, given all of that, I'm happy to escape with a draw, but I still wish I would have seen that queen takes c6, queen c6 check idea at the end. Nonetheless, an interesting game. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz game. And my plan, by the way, is to alternate between 3 and 5 minute games. So since I played a 3-minute game today, I'll play a 5-minute game tomorrow. So that's the plan for now. So please feel free to leave me any feedback in the comments. Bye, guys.